Hello, everybody. Welcome to Queer Games. Heck yeah! Tonight it's cold, it's wet. Um, is there anything better than curling up with a queer indie game on such a terrible evening? Actually, there's about a million things that are better, but we don't have those, but we have this. So let's get into it. I'm Luke, I'm a game dev. I'm working on to be announced. And today we're playing Waste Eater, a game I know nothing about, but based on this opening screen, I'm completely already in love with. Um, it's got dithering, it's got a harsh color palette, it's got a cool title, it's got a lot going on that I'm already in love with, but I don't know where we're going with it. So if you don't like surprise content, look away. But other than that, let's get into it. Poor waste. Don't talk to me until I've had my toxic waste. A little bit of a claw there. Ah, great graphics. Like, if you want to impress me, a way to my heart is through dithering. Heck, I'm getting a Mad Max vibe off this. Mad Max is a series of films. Have you seen Fury Road? This reminds me of, I guess the bit with the crows. I guess this is it. It's low res, but it's like full screen. Mm-mm-mm. Hey bird, do you want to listen to some Hecker die? Oh, I don't know if we're supposed to do anything. Great, I'll keep you updated. You know, there didn't used to be birds here. Nope, was just me, the other wasters, and 1,000 tons of buried nuclear waste. Oop, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be clicking. Now there's no more waste. Click on the bird. And no more other wasters. Oh no. Ooh, I should be happy, I should be angry. Okay, so already post-apocalyptic wasteland, but in a way we found equilibrium, because even though it was ruined for everybody else, a whole new ecosystem apparently developed, but now they've eaten through that ecosystem. So technically we should be happy that the world's ready to grow again, but what if you were the person feeding off the plastic, as it were? I should be happy, I should be angry. I'd be angry, of course. You know, God, no one asked to be born. Just go out screaming. That's my plan. Go out screaming like my passengers. I help save the world, and what do I get? Thrown away and forgotten. Okay, I think we have to click on the text box to get it to go. Like rubbish, like trash. But I'm not angry. I like this. It's like it's some sort of monster thing, isn't it? Not angry at all. The way it's through that rock, great animation, full of anger. Click on the bird, click on the rock. I think all we can do is click on the... But you see, clicking doesn't... I think we just gotta wait. Yeah, okay. There's a touch of theatre and drama to this game. Like, anything where there's like a pregnant pause or a deliberate pause can be, you know, it's an interesting choice. I remember perfectly the day Mars took me here. I think we're gonna have to learn to go at the pace of this game, and this game is clearly like a meditative piece, just about, you know, a little bit waiting for Godot kind of thing. Waiting for... is that what we say now? The game engine Godot has totally poisoned me to the stage play, waiting for Godot. What I'm saying is we're gonna have to wait for the pauses between the text boxes. It had just rained. Drops of sulphur hung off the thorns, like morning dew, baking in the sun, iridescent. Oh. I asked if it was okay for us to be digging up the waste, if that defeated the purpose, maybe. Mars laughed and said, "Whose purpose?" And then he held my hand and introduced me to the dig team. I love this orange and this green. If I could give myself one skill, it would be to sing. But if I give myself like a 10th skill, it would be to be able to pick good colours. Heck, they were mad. Said they'd delimb me if I shared this place with any other hungry wasters. They found a secret stash of waste. I'm with you now. Do we click on the bird? I just kind of want to click on the bird. Oh, no, we're waiting. Okay. Mars came here to die too. I found his body under the same thorn. Oh, we like Mars. Eating him was... We really like Mars, especially with a little bit of basil. Eating him was hard. Oh, and wrong but right. Yeah. He would have found it funny anyway. Yep. I always hoped you'd jump my meat one day, is probably what he'd say. Long pause. Okay, we've figured it out now. Okay. The irony was, as soon as I got to his bones, it started to rain. Where's the irony in that? The first acid rain in 3 years. And the last in... some sort of blimpy balloon thing. Oh, a dirigible. Is it a Skynet dirigible? Tried going on a dirigible once. The pilot wouldn't let me. Because I was radioactive. He said I'd freak out the normal passengers. How about he try eating lithium batteries with normal teeth? The shades of, the warrior can't exist in the land that they save from war. They end the war, but then there's no place for them in the peace. I'd heckin' like to seek that. I eat lithium batteries all the time. I don't. That's what you get for spending 58 years saving the world, bird. Kicked out of a dirigible. He looks great for 58. I like his boots as well. Or their boots. I like their boots. Reserves low. Uh-oh. There were other things I used to want to do. Ah. Oh, glorious animation. Like... learning to garden. Restarting my research program. Well, the contemplative nature of the game makes me want to choose learning to garden, but the science fiction part of the game makes me want to select restarting my research program. Let's go learning to garden. It's our final day. Could lodge a transfer to get a place with some land instead on the outskirts. Only takes an hour to clear nowadays. Could move in tonight. Don't have much stuff anyway. Then I'd sign up for one of those starter packs with the native seeds. Bottle brushes and apple berries and billy buttons. Australian game, Australian game. Bottle brushes are pretty much my favourite tree. Oh, I love them to bits. And they attract the wattle birds. The wattle birds are so awesome. I've got 2 cheeky wattle birds in my backyard at the moment. And they just chat away to each other all day. And sure, you may think it's driving me slowly insane, but actually it's not. Maybe I can invite my friends to move in. They just sort of... It's not like a clicking noise. It's like a... There's a lot of chirping, but also a bit of song in there as well. So they like sing and they chirp. And they click. And they're just really playful. Wattle birds are very playful birds. Like they'll hang upside down, they'll flap around a lot. Quite curious as well, you know. Get an actual job, start cooking again. Oh. I don't know, I thought we were dying. He seems to have a lot of dreams for someone who's dying. Start cooking again. Get an actual job. I think saving the world from nuclear waste is a job. Just for fun. Just to do something that isn't waiting to die. Did you know that people before the revolution had to have jobs? Had to have jobs. It was a weird system. I try to explain, but birds are too smart for that heck. It's such a good looking game. I was a mechanic before, but no one really makes cars now. Mostly they're being pulled apart. But I could help. Yeah, I'd spend my morning in the gardens, and then I'd go into the city to take apart old machines and help build new ones. With skeleton heads, and red eyes, and laser guns. That sounds nice. Reserves low. We seem to. I think our breathing has got a bit more laboured. Hey bird. You know what would make me feel like a human again? Naming something that doesn't belong to me. Naming something that doesn't belong to me. I don't understand. How about we call you? Oh, I see. I don't know. Words is how we interact with the world around us, I suppose. Phoenix or Mike? Both those names are pretty bad for a bird. Well, I'm not calling it Phoenix. Let's call it Mike. Mike the bird, yep. I think Phoenix, to me, calling it bird Phoenix is putting a lot of pressure on that bird because the Phoenix bird comes with a lot of like baggage. It's like calling your kid, I don't know, Santa Claus or something. Mike, we never expected to win. That's why it's not reversible. It's funny, a reversibility mechanic would have been trivial to implement, but no one bothered. Back then, I didn't even have to eat. Could just breathe the air and I'd have enough energy to climb mountains. That's what Dogface and I used to do, climb mountains and map out the earth. All the delicious yellow rivers and industrial waste heaps. She was still using her human name back then. Human name. Oh no. Our breathing, I think, is even getting even slower. One day we climbed our favourite mountain with handguns on both our belts. Handguns on both our belts, okay. Found them in some ruins. Dusty wartime, heck. We took 10 steps each, turned around, and then... Pop pop. Boom. Dogface hits the ground. Why did they duel? Why would you duel with your best friend? Well, even as I said, I heard it. Makes no heckin' sense. I didn't even load mine. Oh. Then I realised that it's only trace amounts anyway, enough to survive another week, but then pointless. God knows why she bothered. Oh, I see. They killed themselves so that we could live a bit longer. It's nice. Guess the whole profession self-selected for morons with a martyrdom kinked. Is that why I'm the only one left? Was I just the worst? The most selfish? The most indifferent? Alright, most selfish. Alright. I think that fits in with the martyrdom thing. Could have been me who shot myself. Could have been Dogface who ate me. How many times have I said that to myself? Could Could have been Dogface that ate me. When I die, they'll stop me at the pearly gates and say, nope, it was a test. We don't let the last one in. And I'll deserve it, because I'm the worst. Kitty cat. Great, I can't believe the cat survived. Oh well. Oh, dirigible. Cloud? Rain cloud? Dirigible? Clouds. Looks like a dust storm's coming in. Hold on to that branch, Mike. Should have told the science guys to give me a dust metabolizer instead. Reserves critically low. You know, back on the dirigible, some of the other passengers stood up for me. Oh. But I couldn't think. I was just so embarrassed. Suddenly, I'd seen myself like they saw me. Oh no. Teeth, claws, hardened skin, tools of liberation in the old world, but in the new one, monstrous. I love this sort of chugging animation for the dust clouds. It's very authentic. Other than the fact that they're overlapping, um, the chugging is the pacing's quite right. But I can't stop wondering, should I have stayed on the dirigible? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, of course. You know, be a problem, I reckon. I worked hard to make a better world. I had just as much right to enjoy it as anyone else. Oh well, in another life. I'll never get to have a garden, but other people will. And that's what matters, right? Right. No, we're adamant about that. Other people get to plant gardens and build great things. We seem a little bitter with our lot in life. Other people get to make art and cook good food for each other. You got all the nuclear waste you could possibly want. To live near lush forests and clean rivers, to talk to birds. You're talking to birds right now. They'll still find new and ingenious ways to be miserable, but that's what being an animal is. But they won't have to worry about tomorrow anymore. Because of us, the waste eaters. Because of me. Oh, reserve's empty. Uh-oh. Well, thanks for listening, Mike. Sorry if I bored you. Mars, Dogface, I'll see you both soon. In that great waste dump in the sky. Oh. Oh. Heck. Hope for the Future by Ursula K. Le Guin. I wonder why that's being thanked. Hmm. Alright, well, that was Waste Eater. A short game is a good game. That was very, I guess, you can tell they had a vision for this game and they delivered it. It looked fantastic. It was a little bit slow paced, I guess, for my liking, but I really appreciate that they went for that slow pace. I just think maybe I could have used a bit more feedback for when there was a deliberate pause and when it was waiting for input, because I couldn't tell when I was supposed to click or not. So I ended up clicking a lot, even though it was the game was trying to deliver like a pause. Um, yeah. Okay, let's duck duck go. Hope for the future. Maybe that will give us a bit of insight. Okay, I think it's a quote. To break a promise is to deny the reality of the past. Therefore, it is to deny the hope of a real future. I don't quite know. Um, it's from a book, maybe? The Dispossessed and Ambiguous Utopia? Shevek, a brilliant physicist, decides to take action. He will seek answers, question the unquestionable, and attempt to tear down the walls of hatred. I've got to. Hmm. Um, well, apparently, it's one of the great novels of the 20th century. I need to add it to my list. Um, all right, I think there was a greater meaning to this story that I maybe missed a little bit. Um, if you have thoughts, please write them down below. Wait, I'll check the website for the game. We can do that now. After a global. Okay, here. Oh, there's a little preamble. Okay, here we go. After a global revolution dealt a final death blow to the world's crumbling industries, researchers and activists were left to pick up the pieces of their planet's ruined ecosystem. Their solution was simple: they turned themselves into pollution eating mutants. Now, over half a century later, the rivers are blue again and the birds have learned new songs. A beautiful world is stepping out of the husk of the old, and the last waste eater is waiting to die. A 10 to 15-minute introspective about losing your humanity and finding hope instead. Um, Alright, well, I mean, I didn't get much hope out of that. I thought our character was a little bit angry about the lot they'd been given. Um, but anyway, I know I do think it comes back to that idea that if you build a better future, maybe there's no place for it in you. And I do think you meet some gay men my vintage, who they do see young people at bars, and holding hands in public is a big one. And they see like a teens, like 17, 18-year-old kids who have boyfriends and going to the prom and that. And it's actually really common for older gay guys to actually feel a bit angry about it because it's a bit like, um, they were deprived that. No, I'm going to say it. We were deprived that, and um, you know, I'm not saying I marched and all that stuff, but I certainly wasn't a big campaigner or anything. But like, think of all those people who did all that work over decades and decades and decades to get the law changed, to change society's attitude, and they finally got somewhat there. They got some, there is a lot more acceptance these days than there were before, depending on where you are on the planet. Um, and then you see the kids doing what you were never able to do. I think there's an element of like, um, it's almost paradoxical, but you can feel angry about it. Uh, but are you angry at those? Are you angry at those younger people? It's hard to say. Um, so maybe that's what the game was a little bit about. Well, that's what I decided I'll take from it. It didn't really have any answers for that anger, though, other than to say, well, you should just, die. Oh, all right. Thank you for joining me here on Quick Games Heck Yeah. And I'll see you next time. Bye.